This all started back in July of 2015. We heard a lot of feedback from the community, the building community, the development community, that things weren't working that well in the planning department. Even got to the point where the front page of the Press Democrat said we were a dysfunctional department. We commissioned a study to evaluate how the city was doing, how the planning department was doing, and that study was very direct, and so we had to hit it head on from day one.
In 2015, we were given an opportunity to sort of recreate ourselves as a department and how we connect with our community, the residents, our builder community that comes to get their permits, and all the various stakeholders in between. Everybody had some great ideas about how to increase transparency, efficiency. We gave them the ability and the freedom to try them out.
So the Process Improvement Action Plan involved a lot of ideas thrown up on a whiteboard that pretty much was a piece of paper that ran from the ceiling down the floor. We compartmentalized those into 4 or 5 core topics, and then we started developing teams to work through those.
One of the things that we heard from the public and from the development community was that we were finding ways to get to know, that we didn't understand that time was money. That was a big shift for us to make sure that we knew that our job was to address time, certainty, and cost. The second big effort was a housing action plan, and that was really to take a holistic approach of how we deal with housing, how do we address housing, both from a policy standpoint, from a process standpoint, from a cost standpoint, from a financing standpoint, look at every aspect of that. And that's something we've been very aggressive about over the past couple of years.
And so the housing action plan covers the areas that we can influence. So we can influence the culture, be supportive of housing, influence where it goes. We can look at financial incentives. We can look at our fees, for example, and see, are we charging fees that incentivize the types of housing in the locations that we want it. When the Tubbs fire hit, part of our emergency team was the recovery. So as soon as the fires were hitting, we were talking about recovery and what are we going to do now? We had a housing crisis before, we have a housing crisis now. We have now 3,000 more units to get built as soon as we can to get folks their houses back. So our planners were literally working through the night at 3 a.m. trying to type up urgency ordinances to see what it would take to get them their building permit and get back to their homes as soon as possible.
As part of the process prior to the fire, we engaged our customer base. We understood where the hurdles were. We understood some of the policy changes that could be made. We did the same thing with the fire. The first few months, understanding the direction people wanted to take it. Did they want to build the same house back? Did they want to make changes? Where the policy shifts needed to be? And then we went after it. And it was basically 3 or 4 months of policy changes that were all based on public input. We finally feel like now we can affect that change, and when you can make a small decision that puts a smile on somebody's face, when you saw them cry because they lost everything that they owned, huge. You really can't put words on that.
Yeah, one of the things we found early on when we heard the feedback from the community and the business community was we didn't understand the impacts to the end user through our process, and so we brought economic development over into this department.
The reason why we're focused in Santa Rosa's downtown core is because it is the most development-ready area in the city that will also have the most positive economic effect, as well as answer the housing crisis that we're in.
We have a campaign and a big effort to focus on how to bring housing to downtown. So that means developing policies, reducing fees, looking at incentives, and doing everything we possibly can to encourage housing in the downtown core.
Given the city of Santa Rosa's size, both physically as well as population-wise, it allows us to try innovative things in smaller neighborhoods. So we can break down and do something special in the downtown area, for example, that can then be potentially replicated elsewhere.
So one of the things that's happened over the past year and a half is finding new creative partnerships, and we can't do this alone. We're looking and encouraging and trying to find as many partnerships as we can to pull this off. We're in a housing crisis before the fire. We're in a housing catastrophe at this point, and so we have to try new things. We have to be bold, and we have to reach out and get help wherever we can get it.